be talking about how a civil engineering student can help the government in fighting against COVID-19. So we all know that the best people to fight COVID-19 are the people in the medical field, and civil engineering is not really a medical field, right? But here are some tips that I could give you. First tip is to make our own DIY face shields or PPEs. As civil engineering students, we are known to be innovators or problem solvers. And as PPE is very low on supply and it just does not really meet the demands of our healthcare workers, we have to innovate. There are two ways that we can make our own DIY PPE. First one is by upcycling or recycling old plastics and other resources that is needed to make these face shields, just like what our friends from USTP did, as they made their DIY PPEs and handed it down to our healthcare workers in Cagayan de Oro City. This photo is in courtesy of USTP Office of the Student Affairs. The second way to make our DIY PPE is by using 3D printers. If you have the resources of a 3D printer at home or at school, you can use it to make your own DIY face shields using 3D printing. And as civil engineering students, we already know the know-hows of using SketchUp to make 3D models and to make those 3D models into reality by 3D printing it. And so, just like what our friends from the 3D printing enthusiasts did, in this picture we can see that they made their face shields using 3D printing and handed it down to our healthcare workers to help them in supplying PPE for their daily work. So as civil engineering students, you could also do that if you have the resources and if you have a creative mind, innovative mind. Second tip that I could give you is for us civil engineering students to not stop learning, not to stop honing our skills or engineering skills, not to stop solving more problems every day. And how could this help us fight against COVID-19? Well, I'm pretty sure that after the vaccine is found, the cure is found, the economy is still down. And the country, the nation, needs our help as civil engineers to rebuild the city, to rebuild the nation. With such, we should use our civil engineering knowledge, civil engineering skills to help the economy recover. So using this pandemic or lockdown to hone our skills so that we would be sure that when we are to go or step foot in the real world of work of civil engineering profession, we are well equipped with the necessary skills and with the necessary knowledge to help the country recover from the fight against COVID-19. Another tip that I could give you civil engineering students is that with our basic knowledge in chemistry, we could make our own 0.05% sodium hypochlorite or bleach disinfectant solution for our hand washing. So the steps in making 0.05% sodium hypochlorite bleach disinfectant solution for hand washing is first to prepare all the materials needed. Second is to use proper PPE by using gloves, apron, and boots in preparing your solution. Third, next step or for option A is to prepare 0.5% bleach solution or 100 ml bleach plus 900 ml water. Or we could also do option B, which is to get 100 ml 0.5% solution from step A, from option A, and add it to 1 liter of water. Next step is to add 1 tablespoon of chlorine or 20 grams in the water. Lastly, store your DIY disinfectant out of the reach of children and make sure to put labels on it. Then you could use your own DIY hand wash. The next step I could give you is to be informed. Be informed of everything that is going on around you. It is important to know what are the necessary things that you need to know in fighting against this COVID-19, because it is still true that being aware is one of the best safety precautions there is. And with such, I will be posting some of the important COVID-19 response email directories. To facilitate your COVID-19 related concern or queries, you may directly email the following: call center at doh.gov.ph or ftduque@doh.gov.ph for other COVID-19 related concern, IATF Secretariat at gmail.com for interagency task force concerns, COVID-19 RDT at gmail.com for studies involving the use of rapid antibody-based diagnostic test, COVID recovery at doh.gov.ph for COVID-19 recovery and concerns, health.covid.ndrrmc at gmail.com for COVID-19 Task Force Group on Response and Operations, dohfeedback at gmail.com for feedback on social media platforms, COVID-19 logistics at gmail.com for COVID logistics such as medicines, masks, and other personal protective equipment, doh.covidlab.info at gmail.com for COVID-19 laboratory facility accreditation, hrh4covid at gmail.com for hiring of health human resource, fdcovid19ph at gmail.com or ncov at doh.gov.ph for foreign and local donations, boqrepatriation at gmail.com or dohrepat2020 at gmail.com for queries on repatriation and follow-up results related to the quarantine. And lastly, hfsrb.cau at doh.gov.ph for hospital complaints. Part of being informed is also knowing which news are legit and which news are fake. Fake news is everywhere. Be wary of fake news. Another thing that we could do is to follow the government guidelines and protocols for GCQ, MGCQ, and all the quarantine protocols that you need to know. Next one is for us to observe proper wearing of face masks, proper hygiene, and proper cough etiquette. Mga hakbang sa tamang pagsuot ng medical or surgical mask. Una, hawakan ng mask sa strap at siguraduhin natatakpan nito ang parehong bibig at ilong. Ang may kulay na parte ang nakaharap sa labas. Pangalawa, imolde ang nosepiece ayon sa hugis ng iyong ilong. Pangatlo, iwasang hawakan ang mask habang ito ay nakasuot. Pang-apat, kapag marumi na ang mask, hubarin ito gamit ang strap. Pang-lima, itapon ang maruming mask sa basurahan. At pang-anim, hugasang mabuti ang kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig o di kaya gumamit ng alcohol-based sanitizer. Proper hygiene tips bago pumasok ng bahay. Ituloy ang mga preventive measures para maiwasang mahawa sa COVID-19. Ugaliing maghugas ng kamay, sumunod sa social distancing, takpan ang ilong at bibig kung bumahing o umubo. Huwag umalis sa bahay at magsuot ng face mask kung ikaw ay may sakit at linisin ang madalas na nahawakang mga bagay gamit ang bleach o household detergent at tubig. Maligo muna pagdating sa bahay. Hugasan ng mabuti ang lahat ng nakalantad na area gamit ang sabon tulad ng paghuhugas ng kamay, kuskusin ng mabuti ang katawan ng 20 segundo. Mag-iwan ng alcohol o sanitizer malapit sa pintuan at linisin muna ang kamay bago pumasok sa bahay. Habang hindi pa malinis ang kamay, huwag munang hawakan ang mga bagay sa loob ng bahay. Ilagay ang bag, susi, barya at iba pang mga gamit na dinala sa labas sa italagang lugar o kahon malapit sa pintuan. Linisin ang bag at ibang gamit na dinala sa labas sa pamamagitan ng pag-spray ng bleach at tubig o 70% alcohol solution. Hubarin ang iyong damit at ilagay sa hiwalay na laundry bag. Laban ito gamit ng tubig, detergent at konting bleach sa madaling panahon. Pag nakauwi na, mag-spray ng alcohol sa swelas at hubarin ang sapatos bago pumasok sa bahay. Ilagay ang sapatos sa itinalagang lugar sa labas ng bahay o malapit sa pintuan. The next step that I could give you civil engineering students is if you can and if you want to be involved in volunteering and donation drives. There are lots of causes that the government needs manpower for in helping the healthcare workers and in helping in the fight against COVID-19. So if you have the heart to volunteer, then you volunteer. And if you have some extra or spare change in you, then you could give out to donation drives, be able to fund and help fight the COVID-19. The last and final tip that I could give you civil engineering students is if you really don't need to go out, then you should stay at home. It is very important for us to stay at home to lessen the risk and to help the government flatten the curve and defeat the COVID-19 virus. So if you can stay at home, do your thing at home, then just stay at home. It is the best thing that all of us. Those are just some of the things that we could do as civil engineering students in helping the government fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. And so, we should always stay at home and continue to fight and continue to believe that all of this will be over soon. By doing our own little parts, together we can fight and win this battle against COVID-19.